Hey, checking out the backyard today, and spring is in the air. Even though it's February 20th, I think. Check it out. It's the elderberry. It's got some flowers on it too. Looks good. Depending on where you look, spring is happening. Here's a loquat. And it's kind of unfortunate that it leafed out right now because we have, oh, look at that. There's more right there. We have an overnight low, I think, of 20 coming next week. So another blast. And then hopefully that's it, because La Nina's done, according to the weather people. This is a yuzu, and got all its leaves basically frosted off earlier in the year. But it looks pretty good. And you can kind of see where the frost line was, right? It's like right there. Everything above that, frost, everything below it, pretty good. So this kind of speaks back to what I was reading before about the, I think it was the Russian method for growing citrus. And they take the citrus and they keep it about a foot above the ground. And that's, like 0.3 meters. That's about a foot, I guess. So they might be onto something, which is pretty cool. Let's see, the dogs have been busy over here, it looks like. And this is an evergreen blueberry, which has seen some damage, but it's still hanging in there. This is a green tea plant. Looks very happy. It's got some flowers on it. Hey, no digging. Hey, no. Leave it. No. So let's see what else is going on. Looks like the dogs have been busy. Hello. Oh yeah, they're looking for moles and critters under the ground. I'm pretty sure these monkey puzzles got a lot bigger. I'm gonna have to check a previous video, but they do look taller. I mean, the branches look longer. And they got plenty of dog protection. So they look pretty good. Persimmons, still very tight buds. They're gonna wait a while. They're not so interested in leafing out early, which is good, because sometimes early spring we can get like ice and random frosts and all kinds of other stuff that will knock them back. Here's a male sea berry. This looks like it's pretty much ready to start sending out pollen. Pretty cool. Here's my Asian persimmon. This is Korean giant. Wow, these look... The persimmon... not the persimmons. This is an Asian pear, sorry. The Asian pears every year, they flower, I think they flower first, so... And they always make me worried because it's like, oh no, these buds might get frosted off, because that very commonly happens. Ooh, the dogs are going crazy. Look at them run. So the pears, they want to leaf out early. Apples, not so much. This is Abigail Rainette, and this is Golden Gem. And then I grafted on here a Golden Russet, which has a very unusual habit, and then it likes to just keep growing and growing and growing. But these look like they're pretty small. So nothing much there yet. Some lilacs look like they're getting ready to flower. So yeah, spring is in the air. Even the cherries look like they're getting there. Excellent. So I'm looking forward to another good year. Lots of fruit to harvest. Lots of fun to have in the backyard. And yeah, I just like going outside and just observing, seeing what I pick up. Kind of just stare at things for a little while and, you know, ask questions. What is that? Why does it look like that? Etc. And then you can make some observations and learn. At least that's how I learn. In addition to book reading, it's also good to walk around and give yourself a good sense of where everything is in terms of season and time, so you can kind of get dialed into what needs to be done when. And yeah, my plans for this year is along this, what we're calling a backslash. I've buried a bunch of high nitrogen fertilizer, and I'm planning on putting watermelons here. I got a variety called it's from Utah. I can't remember the name of it. Blacktail Mountain, that's it. And they're supposed to be very early, and they're supposed to handle cold nights really well. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm gonna put some watermelons in there because my daughter likes watermelons. And I'm gonna try some perennial ground cherries. Although they won't be perennial here because it's too cold in the winter. So growing a perennial is an annual. Yeah, these are further behind. I think Sayuri and Chijiro are pretty lined up nicely. And then Korean Giant is the first one. And then for the rest of these backslash garden bed areas, I don't know what I'm gonna do this year. Still thinking about it. I got some sorghum that I picked from last year that worked out okay. I might try that again, especially if I'm burying a bunch of fertilizer. Because that worked out pretty good, I think. Oh yeah, these are further along. All right, so it won't be long now before we start getting flowers. And then I need to change out the traps, get them ready again. This is a trap, and this is a trap. This is for apple maggot, I believe. And then this is for this gross looking thing is half molasses, half water, and that is for codling moth. So the idea is that they go in there and they can't find their way out. And I believe it worked, but and because I got a lot of fruit that didn't have too much damage on it. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. Underneath this, I have black Alexanders. It's a pretty neat plant. It's a biannual, but according to what I read online, it's kind of a perennial here, give or take, until it flowers, and then I think it's done. Member of the carrot family. It's related to lovage. It's also called black lovage, I think. Yeah. So lots of things to observe. It's fun to just walk around, see what's going on. These are looking good. I'm hoping for another good persimmon year. My wife is getting plans together for a new method for hanging persimmons for Hoshigaki. So we'll see if we get a you know, unexpectedly large crop. I did basically no pruning on the persimmons yet. I have persimmon seeds that I'm starting, American persimmons. And they haven't gotten going yet. So I'm kind of holding off on that. And I read Fukuoka's book, The Natural Farm, I believe it's called, a long time ago. And these persimmons look pretty much what he said is the natural form. I mean, not exact. Granted, you know, things happen to them. Wind and rain and critters digging under them and all kinds of stuff, you know, branches breaking from fruit or whatever, but they look pretty close. So that early Jiro, early Fuyu, they look pretty close. And then I think Saijo back there has a different growth habit. It's much more upright. It looks more like a tree. I mean, like a tall tree. These are more kind of like spread out. I don't think they're gonna get very tall. And then same thing with Nikita's gift back there. I think it's gonna get very tall, which is fine. So in terms of like the seedlings, I haven't seen a whole lot of action yet out of them yet. So these are the American persimmon seedlings that I put in pots. I put some fencing over them just to make sure the squirrels don't dig them up, which I haven't really had a problem, but you never know. And so far, I don't see anything yet. So, and then I put more in here as well. So I think I put like 2 in each. 2, 4, 6, 8, 6, 10 there, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, so should have about, I mean, assuming 90% germination, about 20, give or take. So that should be pretty good. And then these are seedling chestnut trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might give them away to our CSA farmer. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Or I might sell them. And then this is a cutting that I took from our rosemary bush and just stuck it in the pot and it rooted. So rosemary's easy. Same thing with these raspberries. These were all just cuttings. And then this, which I don't think is going to work out, is an avocado pit. Actually, I think there's 2 in there. So the idea would be, if these manage to sprout, I would graft them with something that's very tough, like I don't know, poncho, or there's a bunch of Mexican mountain varieties that could potentially graft on here and probably make it through the winter, but still yet to be seen. And then I think the seedling that I talked about before that I thought made it, now I'm not so sure, so I don't know. It's weird how long the delay is between when the frost happens and when you actually see it on the tree. It's a very curious thing. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a bunch of branches died. That's a shame. But I have others. All right, so hope you enjoyed kind of wandering around with me. And talk to everybody next time.